Hi, my name is Coach Travis, and this is the first edition of my Coach's Corner. I'll be doing a series matches between the Vancouver Canucks and the Minnesota Wild. I'll be looking at both teams' statistic and see which team has a clear advantage over them. So without a further ado, let's get down to business. The Canucks and the Wild has almost identical record with 36-35 win, 27 losses, 6 and 7 overtime losses. But judging their last 10 games shows that the Canucks are struggling with a 4 wins, 5 loss, and 1 OT loss record, including a loss to the Wild in a shootout, while the Wild has a record of 7 wins and 3 losses. But let's break down their full season stat and see where they at as a whole. The Canucks score 6 more goals compared to the Wild. The Canucks has 4 players that have 20 goals or more, while the Wild have only 2, suggests that the Wild spread their goal scoring compared to the Canucks. The Canucks also let in 3 less goals compared to them, and it seems that Horvat get all the tough matches for the Canucks, while Parise and Kunin is for the Wild. The Canucks has an advantage in a special team statistic where they have a success rate of 24.15% versus the 21.3% in a power play, while in a penalty kill, the Canucks has a success rate of 80.47% versus 77.18%. But then again, the Canucks has 20 more opportunity on the power play and defended 9 more on the penalty kill, suggests that the number based on percentage on success and failure rate are pretty much close to even. So by that breakdown, the Canucks has a slight advantage over the Wild, or at least it's an evenly matched team. Judging on a even strength statistic, this is where things really get interesting. My understanding in hockey is that you can't really approach it similar to basketball, football, or soccer. Hockey moves so fast that the X and O might not matter as much since most of the goals in even strengths are scored on quick thinking and quick reflexes. It feels like you're playing a checker, and on top of the fast movement, your window of opportunity comes from players' complex interaction with each other, and you're just really waiting for them to make mistakes and or at least have them a step slower. Like checker, hockey is all about momentum and it's all about recognizing it. It's all about putting the right players on the right time and which order you can utilize your line combination. And when you finally see a mismatch, that's your window. That's when mistakes happen and that's when you pounce for it. For me, putting the right players on the right situation matters. It matters who you put on offensive and defensive face-off. It matters which line combination you put out after a goal or which combination you put out after a productive shift. That is something you can't really do in basketball because everything moves on a fly. In other sports, you tend to rely on star players, and as a coach, you're hoping your star players will come true for you. But in hockey, especially a playoff hockey, it can become a coach's game. As a coach, you have to recognize all your players' traits and use their strengths to have an advantage, and that's when your unsung hero emerges. A player that make a difference. And remember, he doesn't have to score for you. And like checkers, if his interaction with others can give the team momentum, that's all that matters. Anyway, let's get back to the breakdown. The Wild scored 20 more goals at 10.6 shooting percentage versus 9.8% to the Canucks. Also, the Wild allowed 5 fewer goals at 0.905 save percentage versus 0.908%. The Wild also has a better Corsi number at 49.4% versus 47.9%, meaning that if the Wild controls the play more, they will get more power play opportunity, which limit the Canucks' advantage against the Wild, which is the power play. Although the Canucks has 136 more scoring chances than the Wild, but they also allowed 309 more scoring chances against the opponent, which suggests that the Canucks play aggressive on offense but struggle with the defensive coverage. They seem to be chasing more on the puck than controlling it. The Wild also has a better high danger goal conversion of 15.8% compared to 10.1% for the Canucks, which will work favorably for them since the Canucks also allowed 43 more of a high danger goal opportunity than the Wild. It also suggests that the Wild play more of a structural sound control defense compared to the Canucks' wild and erratic style. If you start combining the Corsair, the scoring chances allowed, especially the high danger one, the Canucks are in deep trouble here. If you go by the regular season matchup, they played each other 3 times in the regular season, having 1 win apiece and a loss for the Canucks on a shootout in their last meeting. The first 2 games are almost identical to each other in the score sheet, while their last meeting looks like a close, evenly match which ended in a shootout. Based on the numbers and based on the regular season meeting, they are really an evenly matched team, but the numbers suggest that Canucks have more holes to their games compared to the Wild. It's pretty clear that Markstrom has an advantage over Dubnyk, but based on the stats suggest that Stalock is their number one goalie, especially judging their last 10 games. Stalock number is pretty close to Markstrom, but play less game. I can see them putting in Stalock than Dubnyk, even though Dubnyk plays 2 games against the Canucks in the regular season. I can honestly see the Canucks would struggle against the Wild, and it's the bottom 6 that will make a difference for the Wild. Hey, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Green sees what I see, and maybe he'll design a game plan that will plug in their holes and will cut the Wild off guard. So who knows? For me, it's all about the preparation. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.